Tonight, the countdown to Eid Al Fitr, as Canadian Muslims look forward to a celebration. After the challenging yet spiritually uplifting month of Ramadan, and Canada's military capability in question by its allies and NATO powers, show Washington's leaked documents. We cover stories about Canada's $20 bill and the King Charles portrait, rampant rising Islamophobia in Canada, the test launch and explosion of the most powerful space rocket. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Catherine Bullock. Many Canadian Muslims are celebrating tomorrow the end of Ramadan, known as Eid Al Fitr, the festival of breaking the fast. This is based on astronomical calculations as to when the new moon begins. Turkey, Qatar, and UAE are also expected to celebrate Eid on Friday. Pakistani media has confirmed Eid celebrations tomorrow. For those who follow a naked eye moon sighting, tonight will be full of anticipation. If no new moon is seen, Ramadan will end on Saturday. Eid Al Fitr provides an opportunity to celebrate the end of the fasting period for Muslims. Family gatherings are an important aspect of the celebration to show love and gratitude for our close ones. Eid Al Fitr begins with an Eid prayer. Muslims gather in mosques and parks to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His blessings. After the prayers, Muslims shake hands or hug each other, saying Eid Mubarak, which translates to Blessed Eid. Muslims also donate on Eid. Donations are given at local mosques in the form of cash or by feeding the needy and poor. A Senate study shows Islamophobia is deeply rooted in Canada and continues to rise. The Senate committee says these are its initial findings. They say that Black Muslim women wearing hijabs are particular targets. The findings show that anti-Muslim incidents are often violent, more so than what is done to people from other religions. Committee Chair Senator Salma Ataulajan calls the situation a problem for Canada. She says Muslims are speaking up because the attacks are frequent and violent. Ataulajan says children witness these incidents, causing intergenerational trauma. The committee has travelled across the country to speak to Muslims, including victims of attacks. The committee, which will produce a full report in July, said far-right and anti-Muslim groups are growing, and so are the incidents of hate. Statistics Canada says that police-reported hate crimes saw a 27% increase from 2020 to 2021. The figures also show that hate crimes targeting Muslims and reported to police rose 71% over the same period. This translates to 8 incidents per 100,000 Muslims. But Ataulajan says the problem is worse and incidents go unreported. The committee found that women are particularly vulnerable. A French political scientist claims the reason for discrimination against Muslims in France is colonialism and not the disagreements over theology between Islam and Christianity. The research head at the French National Centre for Scientific Research, Francois Bourgat, told a media source that Orientalist discourse affects how the French look at Arabs. Bourgat says it leads to discrimination of Muslims. He says Orientalism is widely used by the West, as well as authoritarian leaders in other countries, including Israel. Bourgat says Orientalism and Islamophobia are tightly related, with Orientalism, which means the othering of Muslims, fuels Islamophobia. Bourgat thinks the Muslim generation born in France does not accept the colonial mentality. They now raise their voices against Islamophobia. He suggests that increasing the visibility of Muslims and opening Islamic centers in European capitals will contribute positively to contact with the public. He says people cannot hate or fear illogically if they meet Muslims every day. A media source says Washington's recent leaked documents criticize Canada on its military capabilities. According to the Washington Post, one document details a private conversation between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and NATO officials. In the conversation, Trudeau claims Canada will not reach military spending levels agreed by alliance members. The media source also says the document shows Canada's military deficiencies are a reason for tension between its allies. According to the source, the document bears the seal of the US Joint Chiefs of Staff, meaning it was meant for senior officials of the US Department of Defense. And in related news, this document also supposedly lists several other points of tension between Canada and its NATO allies. According to the source, Germany is not sure if Canada continue its support to Ukraine while meeting NATO obligations. There are complaints from other NATO countries over Canada's lack of presence in Latvia. Turkey is apparently dismayed over Canada's refusal to assist in transporting humanitarian aid after the deadly earthquake. And the Haiti government is also frustrated over Canada's apparent lack of willingness to lead a multilateral security mission. Reporters asked Trudeau about all these complaints. Trudeau replied that Canada is a reliable NATO and world partner. He says Canada's defence spending will grow by $15 billion within the next few years. Please stay tuned. We will join you after a short break. At least 78 people have died and more than 150 have been injured in a stampede in Yemen's capital, Sana'a. The chairman of the board of a local hospital in Sana'a told a media source that the crowd surge took place during the distribution of financial aid under the control of the Houthis. The spokesperson for the Minister of Interior says the distribution was carried out without coordination with the ministry. 2 businessmen have been detained. He says an investigation has been launched. According to him, security forces in Sana'a have been dispatched to the region. The Pakistani Foreign Minister will attend the upcoming Shanghai Cooperation Organization's Council of Foreign Ministers meeting in India. The meeting is scheduled for the first week of May in the state of Goa. This will be the first visit by a Pakistani foreign minister to a neighboring South Asian country since 2011. The Pakistani Foreign Ministry spokesperson says that the Indian External Affairs Minister, Subrahmanyam Jaishankar, invited Pakistan's Foreign Minister, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, to attend. Relations between the 2 nuclear neighbours have been at an all-time low since August 2019, when Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government scrapped Indian-administered Jammu and Kashmir's special status. Subsequently, Pakistan suspended all exports and trade relations and reduced diplomatic ties with India. Last year, these 2 foreign affairs ministers got into a verbal spat at a UN Security Council meeting. The Indian minister accused Pakistan of supporting terrorism, and the Pakistani minister responded by calling India's Prime Minister Modi the butcher of Gujarat. He was referring to the infamous Gujarat massacre in which thousands of Muslims died. Modi, who was at the time the chief minister of Gujarat, is believed to have been behind the massacre. The Bank of Canada says it would take years for King Charles's images to appear on $20 banknotes. The spokesperson for the National Bank says the current $20 banknote is meant to be in circulation for years to come. She says normally a new portrait subject is selected first and then the design process begins. The new banknote is then issued a few years later. According to the Bank of Canada Act, the Finance Minister has the authority to approve the portrait subject of banknotes. And in this case, the monarch has to approve the design as well. So far, the Bank of Canada has not received any recommendation to design a new $20 banknote. SpaceX's Starship, the most powerful rocket ever built, exploded yesterday just after it took off. It was the first test flight of the spacecraft that is supposed to send astronauts to the moon, Mars, and beyond. The gigantic rocket successfully blasted off early this morning from Starbase, the private SpaceX spaceport in Texas. The Starship capsule had been scheduled to separate from the first stage rocket booster 3 minutes into the flight, but separation failed to occur and the rocket blew up. In a tweet, SpaceX said, quote, "Starship experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly before stage separation." Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. On behalf of our team here, we would like to wish you an Eid Mubarak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our fast. May tomorrow be a joyous occasion of family and friends. Thank you for watching and your support of our news channel.